welcome back to another video. We have some more Xbox Activision Blizzard news, which is going to continuously be coming over the next month or so, and just a couple of other Xbox things I want to talk about. But before we get into it, I do have a playlist now that I have set up with all of the Xbox Activision Blizzard merger acquisition videos that I have made. If you do want to go check that out and just see the list of stuff that we've talked about here on this channel, that will be available there. So just wanted to point that out if you have missed some videos in this series. So this showed up on Twitter today, and I want to talk about it because it's an interesting point when it comes to the entire reasoning behind the merger. Xbox has repeatedly said it is not about Call of Duty, it is about mobile gaming, as they want to expand out its mobile gaming. They know that is right now the place that they are faltering on. They don't have a big presence there, at least in terms of like a native presence. You can play cloud gaming on your mobile phone, so it's essentially available on every single device right now, because cloud gaming is also available through the browser. If you're on an iPhone, you don't have to go through the Game Pass app, so it's available to everyone, but it's through cloud gaming, so you have to have a good network connection and all that type of stuff. They want to get to mobile. They want to create a store where they're going to be competing with Android and with Apple directly for people actually downloading apps onto their phones. And these are some financial reports here for Activision's Blizzard's latest SEC filings in 2022, and apparently Activision made more money from Apple and Google than PlayStation, which is extremely telling because it's because of the mobile stuff, the Candy Crushes, the Diablo Immortals, the Call of Duty mobiles is where they're making the majority of their money, not from the consoles, not from PlayStation, and not from Xbox. This tweet here says from Peter Orvo, PlayStation's share of revenue went from 17% to 13%, and Xbox revenue went from 11% to under 10%, showing the growth of mobile compared to consoles. And one of the things I always reference in my videos when we're talking about this and why Activision is so important to PlayStation, why this deal and blocking it is so important to PlayStation, is because of the amount of money they make off of people playing Call of Duty on PlayStation. And 2020, PlayStation was Activision's biggest customer, but we weren't sure about 2021, 2022. And now we know in 2022, they weren't Activision's biggest customer. Still a large share though. I mean, 17% down to 13% is 5%, but it's still a decent amount. But we can see here that Activision isn't the console isn't the dominant place for Activision. You can see the net revenues here at Apple at 20% in 2022, Google at 18% in 2022, and then Sony at 13%. And it has fallen from their big 17% over here in 2020. So I think this is just more proof that at the end of the day, Xbox, they've said this before in terms of competition, in terms of who their real rivals are going forward, isn't going to be Sony. It's going to be the likes of Apple and Google. And this acquisition will set them up in a position where they will at some point be able to compete harder against Apple and Google in the mobile space. And I think these numbers are very telling for that type of stuff. And you go through the comments there, some people kind of have some similar sentiments to that. All right, quickly to end this video off, I just want to quickly talk about some other Xbox news. Halo Infinite has reached over 1 million creations from Forge, which is impressive. Forge, the stuff we've seen come out of Forge has been just insane. Some really good maps, some really creative maps, and then also some recreations of like other games within it. It's just been really cool. People have been able to do. At the end of the day, 343 did do a great job with the Forge suite, giving gamers the ability to create some of the best stuff within Halo Infinite. So 1 million creations from that was as of January 2nd is a great thing to see, and 8.5 million custom matches have been played since the custom game browser. And we're coming up on March 7th, which is going to be season 3 of Halo Infinite, which is going to be a massive launch because they're hoping that this is going to revitalize the game somewhat. They're releasing their own new maps, and then there's going to be more maps going into the community playlist and some new weapons and XP added to the community playlist. So I think people will have a bit more fun and definitely will want to check it out if they get the marketing so far for it has been pretty good. And I think this will prompt people to jump in and play Halo Infinite again. I know I haven't played in a while. I'm definitely going to be checking out the new season when it does drop. But one of the things here that I think this is very telling is that yes, they built a great, robust Forge system, and going forward, they're going to rely heavily on Forge. They're going to rely heavily on the people creating these maps to help make more content for this game, which is a good thing and a bad thing. The bad thing is 343 still needs to get their act together, get on the same level of the gamers actually creating these maps so they can release a bunch of stuff all at the same time. It shouldn't be left up to gamers to populate the content for Halo Infinite, but thank God for the gamers out there that are doing this, because they've done a phenomenal job to carry Halo Infinite throughout 2022 and throughout the beginning of 2023. And we'll see how this new update comes on March 7th. I'm looking forward to it. I don't think in any way Halo Infinite is going to die. I think that it is going to be around for a long time, and it's going to continue to grow. It will eventually get back to prominence, the Halo franchise, without a doubt, in my opinion. I know people have really written it off, but I haven't yet. I'm definitely disappointed in the way 343 has handled Halo in terms of the content since its launch, especially with the co-op and especially with the single player stuff. To me, that's kind of inexcusable to do that, but I still have hope in the IP. I still have hope that they're going to be able to turn this around. And the other thing I want to talk about here is Hi-Fi Rush. Some pretty big news. 2 million players have played Hi-Fi Rush, and a game that was stealth dropped. Nobody knew about it, and it just took off because it was a great game. And for me, this tells me a couple of things. One, the number one thing for games and for Game Pass, if you want a game to be successful, is create a good game. And the number two thing is that word of mouth marketing, when you have created a good game, will propel your game for tons of people to go out and play it. Yes, Hi-Fi Rush was stealth dropped at a big Xbox event where a lot of people were watching, but let's say a third-party publisher, third-party developer wants to get their game into Xbox Game Pass, and they just stealth drop it, and it's a great game. People will talk about, people will post videos. It will show up as one of the most played games on the Xbox ecosystem where they have their charts. So that is the number one thing that Hi-Fi Rush did. They created an incredible game, and it's another big IP in the Xbox franchise, in the Xbox brand, that they're going to be able to continue to utilize going forward as a first-party title. And we're going to get, I'm sure, more iterations of Hi-Fi Rush and more games from Tango coming out. Lots to be excited there, but 2 million since the launch. It's been about a month and a bit. It came out at the end of January or so a month and about a week or so, which I think is a huge success. So just want to talk about those two quick things, and I'll leave the video there. But if you guys are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. If you aren't new here, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, or hit the dislike if you didn't enjoy it. Although you can't see dislikes on YouTube anymore anyways, but I see them in the back end. Again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.